The remix of Pill, This Is Not a Love Song, currently number 1 in the punk charts, and who knows, it could be number 1 in the national charts this week. Well, who cares really, but it'd be nice to see him there anyway. This is Danny Dipole on Phoenix. This programme is being recorded to be sent over to Norman Batley, who is a DJ in Seattle, and he's going to be on the air at 7 till 7:30, featuring some local bands. John Scott comes on after him until 9 o'clock. There's a cinema guide at 9. After that, Jill Black until 10, and then 10 till close down at 11 o'clock is Mark Welsh. Now, for some reason, Norman Batley does need this show on tape. He can't pick it up in the USA. I don't know why. We're going to have to get our engineering staff onto that. So, for Norman, hi there, boy. Here's Iggy.
I used to lead a quiet life. In fact, it was I'm a conservative.
The stuff good albums are made of. That's Iggy Pop, I'm a Conservative, from Soldier. The time's 16 minutes to 7. Apparently I'm going to get cut off at 4 minutes to. I don't know why, but I am anyway. So I'm going to have to cut out a couple of tracks. I'll try and play all the new ones though. This one is a follow-up to Propaganda from Play Dead. Here's Shine. Play Dead. That's the title of it. It's a follow-up to their last single, Propaganda, that was out about 3 months ago. They've also got a 6-track album out called First Flower. Play that one especially for a girl who works where I work. I can't remember her name. She's from Liverpool anyway. And I told her to listen to Phoenix. As anybody who knows anything does anyway, but being from Liverpool, she didn't know about it, so I told her. She also wanted to know what sort of gigs were on in London. So, for those of you who want to know that, John Scott's going to be along at about 4 minutes to 7 with the gig guide. Following that, the guest show, Norman Batley, the DJ in Seattle. Apparently he's not from America, the DJ. Graham was saying he's got a very English accent anyway, so sorry for... Graham and John as well were saying that, actually. Oh dear, God, let me fall through the floor. 7:30 till 9 is John Scott, 9 till 10 Jill Black, and 10 to 11 is Mark Welsh. Okay, I played a record for you last week called Cheerio and Toodle Pip by the Toy Dolls. If you thought that was bad, wait till you hear this. Here's the Sex Aids, and Back on the Piss again. Is that dreadful or what? Right, City Records are responsible for that one, so write your complaints to 14C Lansdowne Place, Clifton in Bristol. The Sex Aids and Back on the Piss again. This is Phoenix on 90.2. I'm going to remind you once again about our live tape. Please buy copies of it, because it keeps this station going as well as anything else. It's an excellent tape, very good value. Volume 2 features Echo and the Bunnymen, specials, Talking Heads, Teardrop Explodes and the Associates, all previously unrecorded material in a very loud voice. The tape lasts 2 hours and costs £3. Volume 1 is also available with music from The Cure, Comset Angels, Fall, Joy Division, U2 and New Order. Once again, it's all previously unrecorded. £3. Just send your cheque, postal order, blank preferably, or £3 £1 notes to Live Tape, Phoenix Radio, 1 St Barnabas Road, Woodford Green in Essex, and you can get 2 for the special price of £6. How about that then? Couple more records to play. First off, an old one from the Stranglers from their first album, Rattus Norveticus. This is London Lady. Stranglers and London Lady from 1977. You can find that on the album Rattus Norveticus. My name's Danny Dipole. Thanks very much for listening to the last hour on Phoenix Radio. I'll see you at 6 o'clock next week. I'm going to leave you with the new one from Peter and the Test Tube Babies. It's a follow-up to their very successful single as far as the punk charts goes, Zombie Creeping Flesh. And of course they've got an album out at the moment as well called called Pissed and Proud. Shouldn't have said that. This is their new one, The Jinx. Goodbye, see you next week at 6.
The gang as we leave the pub. We're off downtown to a nightclub. And where as usually we get in. We don't tonight 'cause we're
Thank you to Danny Dipole for the past 1 hour. You're tuned to Phoenix Radio on 90.2 MHz VHF. And the time fast approaching 7 o'clock. Time for this week's gig guide, and we start by taking a look at a couple of things that are happening tomorrow. That's Sunday. Johnny Thunders plus Turkey Bone and the Wild Dogs, Chelsea and the Lost Loved Ones can be seen at the Lyceum at 8:30. That one will cost you £3.50 to get in. The latest ICA Rock Week Pop Goes the Easel continues tomorrow. In fact, it's the final night, and there's some 4AD acts on tomorrow. You can see Daniel Dax, the Wolfgang Press and X-Mal Deutschland, and that starts at 7:30, £3 admission. Whilst the charts are at the Fountain Abbey, which is 109 Praed Street, W2, for £3.50. And finally, the Alarm, the Fleshtones and the Climb are at the Savoy Junction Road N19 on October the 18th, £3. And Fad Gadget can be seen at the venue on October the 19th again, and that again will cost you £3. If anybody listening is putting on some gigs or has got a band appearing at a venue that they'd like mentioned over the air, then do drop us a line at Phoenix Radio, number 1 St Barnabas Road, Woodford Green in Essex. Phoenix Radio, number 1 St Barnabas Road, Woodford Green in Essex. The time is a little after 7 o'clock, and time for this evening's guest show, which is compiled for us this week by Norman Batley, a DJ in Seattle, which is north of Washington, I think, in the USA. And we'll be hearing some music from some local bands, and Norman will be along in a few minutes' time.
CBS News, I'm Douglas Edwards. Shortly after being confronted with tape recording
with more venom directed at the United States.
69 people who were on board.
A UN translator, as you heard, provided the words in English.
And oleoresin.
full.
A government statement broadcast in Moscow said the fighter pilots didn't know the 747 jumbo.
How can we overcome this?
From Moscow has given us this assessment of the Russian announcement.
It helped prevent griping and diarrhea.
KJE. Boring lunch.
The burden of producing fruit on me.
So carefully developed in more than 2,000 years of cheese making.
Recommended preparation H often gives temporary relief from pain and itch flare-ups, even helps shrink swelling of inflamed hemorrhoidal tissue.
The message is aimed at Syria.
In the probe was received yet.
Read the label on your overnight laxative. You'll probably find words like phenylsaline, complicated words.
And you thought radio in the UK was bad.
For Jesus Christ.
Week, killing all 260.
Hello, my name is Norman Batley, and I'm speaking to you from Seattle, Washington State, which is at the northwest tip of the mainland of the United States. Here in the metropolitan Seattle area, there are over 40 radio stations, and you'd think out of that number of stations there'd be some adventurous radio. No way. Sorry about that.
How can we overcome this?
From Moscow.
Seattle is about as typical as you can get for radio. You've got your MOR radio stations, you got talk shows, and they, thank goodness, are on the decline. You got 24-hour religious broadcasting if you want it. You got heavy metal stations, which actually mean The Who, Rolling Stones, and 10 years after every other record. You've got easy listening radio, which of course is anything but. You've even got your new wave stations with a constant barrage of Boy George, Duran Duran, The Police, and if they're really daring, The Clash. There's the odd college station who purport to be alternative, but they sound like training grounds for aspiring American versions of wacky DJs, not unlike good old Kenny Everett, with a dash of Dave Lee Travis thrown in for good measure. Most cities have a listener-supported, non-commercial radio station, which, without exception, are run by a bunch of liberal aging hippies who believe in programming totally unlistenable, completely out of time nonsense about some long-forgotten cause in the most unprofessional and embarrassing manner. So, taking all that into consideration, for what is left of the next 30 minutes, I'm going to introduce you, dear listeners of Phoenix Radio, to what is not heard generally on American radio. So, take it away, chaps. Exclusively there for listeners of Phoenix Radio in London. That was the Beat Pagodas with Men and Women, and they come from Seattle, here in Washington State. And now you're listening to Colin McDonald, aka Cinema 90, with Jungle.
I was in the jungle and I lost my way. In need was I of someone to get me out safe. I went up to a leopard and asked if I could.
That's Cinema 90 from Seattle, and now here are the three swimmers from Seattle. Hope you're going to enjoy them. Let's Make It a Living by an outfit from Seattle called the Three Swimmers, led by a very talented young man called Mark H. Smith. All the bands I'm playing on this program are basically from Seattle, and for the most part they haven't had any records out, and they certainly don't get any airplay. This next one is by an outfit called PMA, and this was recorded in their basement, they tell me. It's called Angels in White Pants, exclusively for you on Phoenix Radio.
1, 2, 3, 4.
PMA is the name of the band, and the title of that was Angel in White Pants. Unfortunately, I only have 30 minutes to cram all this into, so on with the music. This is Cinema 90, fronted by Colin McDonald with Only When I Dance With You.
It's only when I dance with you.
Writes a good song, that chap, doesn't he? Colin McDonald there, aka Cinema 90, with Only When I Dance With You, has yet to get a record out. I hope he does sometime. Exclusive for you, exclusively for you, here on Phoenix Radio in London. My name is Norman Batley, and I'm doing all this by tape from Seattle in Washington State, the United States of America. So there, hope you're enjoying it. One more little thing before I sign off.
I wanna see what you make of me.
Hey, 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 indeed there. That's the Celestial Pygmies with Credo. And this is the end of the program. You've been listening to me, Norman Batley, from Seattle in Washington, the northwest part of America. For you, doing a little roundup of some of the stuff that goes on here. For you on Phoenix Radio in London. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you've got any questions or queries about the stuff I've played, I guess the best thing to do is to write to the station if they give the address out, if they're allowed to do that. I'm not sure what goes on. Haven't been back home for some time. Anyway, thanks very much, Phoenix Radio, for letting me do this. Hope we can do it again sometime. All the best.
In the sense that it appears the United States and the Soviet Union will not have a confrontation over...
Who hasn't been drinking for a lift. In some groups,
And our thanks go to Norman Batley for that guest programme, as I'm sure you gathered from the tape, all the way by the miracle of modern technology from Seattle in the US of A. The tracks we heard were from the Beat Pagodas, the Cinema 90, Three Swimmers, PMA and the Celestial Pygmies. And if you'd like more information on any of those groups, or perhaps if you'd like to see Norman do another guest show for us, by all means drop us a line here at Phoenix Radio. Our usual mailing address, Phoenix Radio, number 1 St Barnabas Road, Woodford Green in Essex. Phoenix Radio, number 1 St Barnabas Road, Woodford Green in Essex. And any comments that you may have would be gratefully appreciated. It's 7:33 and you're tuned to Phoenix Radio 90.2 FM every Saturday from 5 p.m. through till 11. Yours truly, John Scott, here with you through till 9 o'clock. When Jill Black comes along till 10, then it's Mark Welsh up till close down at 11. And some details on the Phoenix Radio live tape, volume 2 of which is now available, featuring the Echo and the Bunnymen, the Specials, Talking Heads, A Teardrop Explodes and the Associates. All material on the tape is previously unreleased and is exclusive to the tape, and it lasts 2 hours in all and will cost you a mere £3. Payment by blank cheque or postal order or by 3 £1 notes, and send your money off to Phoenix Radio live tape, number 1 St Barnabas Road, Woodford Green in Essex. And also, due to demand, volume 1 is available again, which features a further...
You're listening to John Scott on Phoenix Radio.